So I wonder if I have a car accident on the street, like someone found me, so they should call 911, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they call 911, what would happen? Will 911 call an ambulance, or would a police car come, or they both come?
They both come.
So at the same time?
Yeah, the sooner it's first respondent. So it could be a fireman, policeman, ambulance. Yeah.
Okay, so when they come, so I have some personal belongings. For example, I have my scooter, I have my bag. Will they go with the ambulance or the police car?
They take everything with you.
So the ambulance is big enough to take
all your stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So they would store in the hospital?
Yeah, at the emergency they have a locker just for that.
When I enter the hospital, how do the hospital know the identity of this person? If I don't have my ID?
If you don't have your ID for a few days or before they find who you are, you just registered our anonymous patient.
If it's anonymous, will he get treatment?
Yes, they're gonna take care of you for sure. And then after the financial thing, it's they have to find out if you have insurance, or because of course there's a cost, but who's gonna pay and when is the question,
But the hospital is going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Without knowing if you have
because
insurance.
it's humanity. They just have to do it.
So at the end, if he has no insurance, he has no families, the government will pay for it.
Yeah. Well, for the first day or so, but they soon they're gonna find out what's happening, what's your status and what's your identity.
They always find out?
The longest I've seen a patient without identity at the ICU is 3-4 days max.
That fast?
They work in link with the police and the social worker, and then they're all involved.
Okay. So if this person have no families, so after the police, after everything, what would happen? Will the government pay for his funeral, or
if the person die, they go in a common ground, like it's.
So is it handled by charity or by?
It's handled by the government. Yeah.
By the government.
Yeah.
So they will take care of the body.
Yeah.
For example, this person died and there's some cost, right? And his family come from abroad, come from the USA, for example. So they will pay for it.
If they claim the body, yeah. They can claim the body or not claim the body.
So they can
just
not claim the body?
Yeah, some people do, yeah. They don't have the money to do it, and they just let the government take care of it.
Oh, really? So it's not a permanent bill?
But that happens often for, they haven't seen their sibling or father, mother for a long time, before this happens. There's a hole in the history, and then they just... But sometimes they take care of it, sometimes they don't.
So you've seen people say goodbye to their body?
Yeah.
Some families just say no.
Okay, just take care of everything. They just do it on the phone.
Really?
We won't go...
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a difficult word.
Yeah.
And then I have these advanced medical directives. So it means that you can choose to accept or not accept some kind of medical treatments. So there are 5 questions. So people suffer and they want to say no to some medical treatments. So that's why we have this letter. So they choose 5 questions. So by default, these 5 questions are the most unwanted medical treatments, right? But when I read this letter, I don't think so. So I am a bit confused. So they expect I say no to everything, right? But when I read this, I can just read it. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Yes.
Yeah.
This is a very common way to save lives. Why would I say no to it? Why would people say no to this question? I don't understand.
If I am in a permanent vegetative state, that means you're a veggie. You still
yes,
want resuscitation? Or you refuse?
Oh, you're right. So it only applies to these two situations.
If you're in
So
a
I should-
coma that
yeah,
is
so I-
deemed irreversible and vegetative state, and they have tests to do that, you know.
Oh, you're right. So that makes sense. So I should take.
So
So if I'm not in these two situations, this form does not apply. So
yeah,
they will.
this is in those two cases.
Oh, okay. So it makes sense.
Coma, irreversible, or permanent vegetative
Okay,
state.
okay, makes sense.
So,
So yeah, you're right. So I should refuse.
well, most people do.
In the ICU, what's the ratio of people that can survive or they die in the ICU?
When you're at the ICU, often it's like something like 50-50.
Only 50-50.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most people would die in the ICU.
It depends. There's many old people, they don't want resuscitation, they don't want the intubation, you know, they're 80, 85, and they just, you know, they're just ready to die when they're sick enough, you know.
But even though you are in the normal unit, they don't live there long, right? They usually live in a nursing home.
A normal unit at the hospital, they can stay 3 months
They can live in the hospital for 3 months, that long?
before they find a place, because now the system is saturated, normally they shouldn't stay there for 3 months, but they have to find a place first.
Is it still full, the hospital now?
Yeah,
So after 3 years of COVID?
they're fucked.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. So there are people have no beds, they have to go home.
They send some pretty sick people home, yeah. Depending, yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah. COVID was terrible. I don't want to go through it again, ever.
Really?
Mm.
So you were super busy at that time?
It was like a sci-fi movie. It was strange. We were treating
Did you have a
COVID people non-stop for a year and a half, and it's like, where are the other patients? Like,
Oh my
it's, you know
God.
what I mean? It's like a bad movie or something.
So right now, how many COVID patients
Oh,
are coming?
maybe we have 1, 2, but they're not as sick as the first wave, or because of the vaccination, and everybody caught it, and you know, the weakest die, I guess.
Did you have a mental meltdown? that time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I had like a depression, and then I stopped working for a few months, and then I went back on my feet. Yeah, it can happen.
Thank you for your hard work.